A pirate walks into a bar? He looks like a stereotypical grizzled old sea dog with a peg leg, a hook for a hand, and an eye patch. It's a pretty slow day at the bar, without much custom other than the old pirate, so while the pirate is nursing a rum, the bartender walks up to him, polishing a glass and making conversation. "Say, buddy," the bartender says, "I couldn't help noticing that you've seen your share. Do you mind if I ask how you lost that leg?" "Yar," says the pirate, "it be about 5 years ago. We were sailing to Curacao, our ship's belly heavy with ill-gotten booty, when we were suddenly set upon by the great pirate Greenbeard. With blood in their eyes and knives clenched between their teeth, Greenbeard's men swung onto our deck and a wild melee erupted. Amidst the confusion and the sounds of blades hitting blades and men screaming and dying, I somehow found myself in single combat against the dastardly villain himself. We battled sword against sword for what felt like hours until the scallywag slipped past my guard and cut into my leg, deep to the bone. I screamed and started to fall to the deck, but as I fell, I desperately thrust my sword and scored a lucky hit to Greenbeard's throat. And right after I hit the deck, Greenbeard hit the deck right next to me, coughing and choking on his own blood. I was lying in unbearable agony, but Greenbeard was dead. His men lost heart, while our men rallied and drove the bastards over the rails and into the sea. We made it to port with all our treasure, but my leg was beyond saving. "Wow," says the bartender, "that's a really impressive story. And how about that hook? How did you lose that hand?" "Yar, that was from a couple of seasons ago. We were sailing the Caribbean under crystal clear blue skies when our crow's nest alerted us to the very beginning of dark clouds on the horizon. I immediately ordered the ship turned around, but the storm continued to build behind us until the entire horizon was dark with menacing clouds from end to end. Despite our desperate efforts, the storm caught up with us and the rain was pouring down so hard that the sky was more water than air. I barked orders at the men, shouting to be heard over the storm, ordering the hatches battened and the crew below decks. As captain, it was my duty to be the last to escape to safety, supervising and ensuring that every member of my crew was safe. Just as the last man got safely below deck, I heard the most horrible groaning and creaking sound, and when I looked up, the mainmast was coming down right above me. I jumped out of the way as fast as I could, but the heavy mast crushed my hand. We saved the ship and every living soul aboard her, but there was nothing that could be done about my hand other than to amputate it. "Again, wow," says the bartender. "That is one hell of a story. So what's the deal with the eye patch?" "Yar, a bird shat in me eye." "A bird shat in your eye? You? That's not nearly as interesting a story as the other two. Besides, while that's disgusting, I don't see why it should cause you to lose the eye." "Yar, but it was me first day with the hook." Drop a like and be sure to follow for more.